Stephen Bartlett actually has a really good podcast. He gets people on, but some of the people that he gets on sometimes say things that are a little bit questionable, and this is one of them. So Dr. Tara Swart, who's featured in the video talking, she is a neuroscientist with a PhD and a master's, and she was a former psychiatric doctor as well. And she's basically in the video claiming that there was a study done, and just with the power of somebody's mind, they basically increased their muscle mass by 13%. It's false.
Did you know there's a really fascinating experiment done on weightlifters? They lifted no weights for 2 weeks. They just sat there and they visualized themselves lifting weights. They had a 13% increase in muscle mass. People should realize how much potential they have in their brains.
First of all, I already know the study that she's talking about because I looked it up online, and that's not how it went. Second of all, I'm all for visualization. I'm actually very big into it, but you cannot visualize muscle to come through and grow. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. The reason why this is bad is because she's got a lot of followers and it gets out to a lot of people, and then they think that they can just visualize and gain muscle, and that's not how it works. Yes, you want to visualize what body you want so that you can go and put in the time and the work, and also to get the effect of building your body the way you want. It's through the effort of going into the gym and lifting the weight. The study that she talked about, okay, they visualized lifting heavier weight, and they saw a 13% increase with the weight that they were originally lifting, right? So just as an example, let's say they were curling 20 pounds in each hand, okay? They were dumbbell curling 20 pounds, okay? Biceps. They saw a 13% increase in the weight that they curled, not the muscle mass they put on, okay? Huge difference, really, really big difference there, okay? Muscle mass takes months to put on. It'll roughly take, and this is just a generalization, but again, you have to generalize it when you're speaking to a big group of people. Nonetheless, it generally takes anywhere between like 2 to 6 months to put on 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of actual muscle tissue, not weight. I'm talking about muscle tissue. And you have to add force and you have to add tension in order to do that. Hence, when you lift weights and you fill your muscles with, and you fill your veins with blood and they get vascular and more blood is pumped through, and then the fibers get more sore and sore because of the tension, and then they tear and then they regrow back. Okay, that's the basis of it. You cannot think your way to growing muscle. It just doesn't happen. There's actually something else in this video that she says as well that I ended up seeing when I watched the rest of the trailer, which I want to show you.
Is stress contagious?
So cortisol is the main stress hormone, and it will leak out of our sweat about this far around us, go into the skin of everybody else, and it's going to impact them. And as a survival mechanism, it will help you to store fat around your abdomen.
So stress causes belly fat? Belly fat
that's really hard to shift.
Honestly, there's no study, there's nothing that shows what she's saying is right. You can't sweat, it go onto another individual, go into your actual skin and cause you to gain weight around your abdomen, number one. That's just like, I don't even know where she got that from, but I know for a fact that's not even true. That's not gonna happen. And then this whole thing, and it surprises me because somebody with her level of education you'd think would know better, but she's just citing studies without even doing any research into them, okay? Anybody who gains weight, okay, is going to be doing it through a lot of calories that they've eaten. Just because you're under stress does not mean you're gonna gain weight. You're not gonna put on more belly fat around your stomach area, okay, because you're just under stress. Think of how many people there are around the world, okay, just as an idea, that are in crappier situations than you. They have no food, they're in a situation where they don't know where they're gonna get food the next day in certain countries. Their living situations are terrible, okay? They might even be under or even be in a household where there's like domestic abuse. There could be individuals that have financial issues and crashes and they don't know what they're going to do the next day. Do you think all of those people that are constantly, especially in like third world countries that they're going through, that are under those types of stresses all the time, okay? And I understand some of them might not be in that mindset always, but don't you think a lot of them would tend to be overweight? No, that's not the case, because it's more than just the stress that you're put under. The stress itself does not cause the weight gain. She's taken a few studies that looked at certain small aspects of what stress can do, and they found that it releases cortisol. Cortisol is released if you eat certain foods that could cause your body to be under stress, okay? But that doesn't depict weight gain. Insulin does. And insulin, regardless, is released after any food that you eat, okay? It could be sugar, any type of sugar. It could be a protein, it could be fats, whatever. But just because cortisol is released after eating certain foods doesn't mean that you're going to gain weight. You gain weight through the foods that you eat. Now again, the reason why, not always for everybody, but generally people will have body fat stored in their stomach area is because that's where it gets stored the most. But it doesn't just directly go there. That's not how it works with the body. It gets stored sporadically all over the place, okay? Which is why it could even lead to blood clots within your body, and also the reason why you get visceral fat around certain organs which could cause them to not function properly, because your body fat over time of you being in a surplus stores fat throughout the body. Now regardless, again, over time, a person's belly will grow and grow and grow. Some people it may not. It might disperse a little bit differently. Their stomach will still get bigger, yes, but it won't be dispersed the same as other individuals who might have a larger stomach. So the whole sweat thing about like that getting onto your skin and then being stored straight into your ab, that's completely false. That is not true whatsoever. And then on top of that, the stress that you put on in your daily life does not produce weight gain and will not go straight to your stomach. There's actually even other people who have spoken out against that video too, because they saw how stupid it was and they realized that they had to say something. People with higher degrees and higher knowledge than even myself. And it's because somebody such as myself who's in this field and knows what they're talking about looks at that and you're just like, you know, you have a lot of people that follow you. You have a degree in a certain area which is respected, and I'm sure she's got a lot of other content that's great. But for that specific thing that you're talking about is completely wrong, okay? Because when it goes into finding an answer for something, it's more than just looking at one study. A lot of the studies that are done out there, they're not even done correctly. Even sometimes the studies that are conducted weren't even done right. Was it a double-blind study? Was there placebo involved? What was it done on mice? A lot of studies that are done on mice is literally like a first level entry, and it gives a little bit of hope to allow it to get traction, to be given more money and funds to be able to produce a more grounded study that can show further proof if it's got merit or not. And people will take these studies and they will basically use it as the answer to the end all and be all for what they're talking about to make themselves look right, which is completely false, and this is one of them. If you're eating nutritionally and in a deficit, you're working out, you can be under as much stress as you want. I guarantee you you're not going to gain weight. Let's even just say you're eating correctly for that matter. You're watching your nutritional diet, you're in a deficit, or you're eating at a maintenance that allows you to stay around the weight that you're at. You will not gain weight. Your weight is going to fluctuate. Some people might get it confused with that because of the fact that you drink water. Some days you don't drink as much, and then some days you eat a little bit over, other days you eat a little bit under. Your body's always going to fluctuate. That's completely normal. That's not weight gain from stress. You can be under as much stress as you want, and you're not going to gain the weight. That's just not how it works. All right, guys, if you liked the video, click like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you thought of in the video down below. Let me know what you think about the actual video itself and what's on your mind in general, and I will see you guys around.